everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 3 speed build. So just another reminder that my 500 subscriber video will be coming up here pretty soon. I only have about 10 more subscribers at this time until I do that video, so we're running out of time. If you want to get your question in, go ahead and get it in real quick. Drop it down in the comments below, and I will sure to get your question answered during that video. But you need to get it in here pretty soon, otherwise it'll be too late and I won't be able to answer your question. So anyway, this house was built for the From the Ground Up series that I have been doing. And the sim that I had has gotten married, and his new wife, they have 2 children together, a baby and a child. So this house was basically built for them. It is built using his own money. That is why you'll see the dollar signs and stuff moving and, you know, taking away money, is because it does use his money. He did have to go to work and get more money because he started to run out of money again. So, but anyway, that's basically what this house is. It sits on a 30 by 30 lot. It will cost your sim approximately 117 simoleons, or 117,000 simoleons. And unfurnished, it'll be approximately 67,000 simoleons. So with this house, basically the idea that I had was to have it where it had a slanted roof all the way down. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if I can fix it or not, to be honest. But it seems to be causing a shadow inside. The lights say they're on, but it looks really dark. I will try to get this fixed before this is uploaded. I'm recording this voiceover on Sunday, the Sunday before I upload it. So I will try to get that fixed because it is rather irritating. I don't really know at this time what's causing it. I know it is the roof, but I don't really know how to fix it. So, but yeah, the house is definitely, it's different. Like I said, the only thing I had in my mind was I wanted that slanted roof going from the first floor all the way up to the second floor. I don't know, maybe I did it the hard way, but that was the only way at the time that I could think of how to get it done. But it did take a little bit of work, some constrained floor elevation, editing cheats or whatever in order to get it to work, but did eventually get it done, as you can see. The house is 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. One of the bedrooms is designed as a nursery because, like I said, this is for my challenge, and currently he has a newborn baby. So, yeah, but you know, you can always change that. If you were to download the house, you can always change the rooms into however you would like it to be. But I think it turned out pretty, I like it. I think it turned out really neat. The house, like I said, it definitely, I mean, it's a little bit different than I think I've ever really done. It's far from my style. I mean, it almost looks like it could possibly be modern on the outside, but I did not decorate it modern-like. At least I don't think I did. But I did do a lot of exterior decorating, which I don't normally do. I mean, everywhere around the house is completely decorated. So that is definitely new for me. I don't normally do a whole lot of decorating. If you've been following me, you'll know that I don't do a lot of exterior decorating because I really don't think I do very good. I don't normally have much inspiration. I don't normally come up with anything. I usually just draw a blank. Basically, I throw some plants down and that's usually about it. But the lot that I decided to place it on happens to be a corner lot. So I put the garage on the side of the house, or in the back. So the garage entrance is on a different street, but the house entrance is on another street. So I always find houses like that to be rather unique and interesting. So that's kind of why I did it that way. But yeah, you know, I don't really know what to talk about. Today I don't know. Today I don't know what to say. Yeah, I don't have any stories. There's nothing really going on in my life at this time to talk about. So, yeah. So we're just going to sit here and watch me build the house. I mean, this is basically, I mean, everything's pretty much the same as I always do. I mean, I build the outside structure to, you know, how I want it to look. And then I usually do like the wallpapers, get the coloring figured out, and then I get windows in. Sometimes I add all the windows in, sometimes I don't. And then even if I do add all the windows in, sometimes they get changed around because maybe it's a bathroom or maybe it's a kitchen and the window is just too big and it's in the way. So I mean, a lot of times the windows get added later, but a lot of times also if I don't add them right away, I will end up forgetting about them. So those two front windows there really were like, I had a hard time figuring out what it is I wanted. I really did. Sometimes I put a window in and it just does not turn out quite the way I want it to look, or maybe I'm thinking of a different type of window or something. I don't really know. I do get questions a lot of times like, why do I add this wall around the exterior like I did right there before adding the stairs? The reason why I do that is because if you don't, the stairs are empty underneath, like they're not really hollow, but there's like nothing underneath, no support, no nothing. But if you were to put a wall around on the ground level, that tricks the game into thinking that there's a that is inside the house when it's really not, and it adds that wall. It's like in Sims 4, all the stairs inside out doesn't really matter, automatically adds that wall. But in Sims 3, an exterior staircase does not, and I don't know, I myself would prefer if it just did. So, because I prefer it that way. I have to change this garage a little bit because it ended up being too big because I couldn't put the garage door in center, and that really bothers me. The garage door can't be centered. So I had to fix it. So that's pretty much what I was doing right there. I had to make the garage just a little bit smaller just so it could be centered, you know. But I did struggle a little bit with the downstairs floor plan, not so much with where the living room or the kitchen was going to be, but more or less how is I going to fit a laundry room and a bathroom in, plus the bedroom. The master bedroom is downstairs and 2 bedrooms are upstairs. So I kind of, I struggled. You see that I changed it a couple of times. I actually let it stay recorded and I changed them. Usually I turn the recording off and figure out the floor plan. I did do that a little bit, but I also changed a lot of the floor plan on camera. So I decided to go ahead and add a fireplace. I just felt like it really needed something on this side of the house. And I knew that was going to be the living room because I had already pre-planned that to be the living room area. And it just, I think the fireplace really just kind of helped. The chimney, more or less, kind of really helped give that side of the house character. So I then took my sim before I went and saved the lot or did anything with the lot. I then took my sim and I put him in and I gave it the fireplace to be fireproof. I wish you could have more than one upgrade. I really do, because I would love it if it could just come on automatically, shut off automatically, have color or lights or whatever that does. But I also want it to be fireproof because fires in The Sims suck. I don't like it when my house catches on fire. So I usually end up making it fireproof. If you want to have a different upgrade, I guess you can go ahead and change that, but I myself just prefer it to be fireproof. So when you download this lot, the fireplace should already come with the fireproof upgrade. I don't do that with all my builds. I do occasionally. Every now and then I'll go in and give it the upgrade, but most of them do not. So don't expect every one of my builds that has a fireplace to be upgraded to be fireproof, because it's not. Most of the time I just forget, but I also don't really take the time to do it either. So but anyway, just doing the usual landscaping. Usually after I figure out the color of the house and how the house is going to be, like the framing of the house and stuff, I then go in and I do the landscaping, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. I decided I kind of wanted a little bit of a pebble like border or whatever, a rock border around all the plants. It is quite time consuming as you have to put every single one of them down individually. Thank goodness it is not like The Sims 4 and you have to click on each individual rock, because I hate that. I almost hate doing any kind of rock formation, border, anything in Sims 4, because I gotta place each individual one. I have to go back into the menu and I have to click on it again, and I absolutely hate that. So thank goodness in Sims 3 you do not have to do that. So just pretty much using the same bushes that I almost always use. I prefer more green in the landscape with just a little bit of like flowers or a pop of color. I really like the white hydrangeas because I think the blue ones just look, I don't know, they don't look very, I don't like them. They don't look very nice. So I very seldom use those. Those are the base game ones, and I believe the white ones come with, oh gosh, I'm probably wrong, but I almost want to say ambitions, but I'm probably wrong because I don't know one pack from the other. I know a couple items from certain packs, and that's really about it. So this is going to be the kitchen area. I hate how, I love these counters. These are my favorite go-to counters. I use them all of the time. But what I hate the most is the island counters always think they need to change. Like they get smaller and then it doesn't look right. I personally don't think it looks right when it changes like that. I just want the counters to be all the same and not change. Now putting the chair in helped, but it didn't guarantee that it wouldn't change. But it does help get them placed. Now my suggestion though is don't touch them once you download the game, because if you want to keep them looking the way I have them, then you're going to want to not change them or move them. Otherwise you get to go through the struggles that I just got done going through. But if you don't really care, it doesn't really bother you, then go right ahead, change all you want. It doesn't matter to me. Once you download this house and put it in your own game, I really don't care what you do with it. Just make sure you never ever re-upload it. That's all I ever ask when it comes to any of my creations. Whether it's a build or a mod, anything, just don't re-upload it because, well, that's just plain not nice. So just don't do it, okay? Just don't do it. But anyway, yeah, just the usual decorating that I normally do in the kitchen. I decided to go with this tile. If you use the paneling and then use certain square tiles, you can't even tell that they're paneling. And it will give you a nice backsplash in the back, and then you can still have like a wallpaper or something above it, you know, and then decorate it that way. And that's kind of what I like to do that occasionally. So I decided to go with kind of a green theme this time in the kitchen. I don't know why I tend to go green, but green just seems to be my go-to kitchen color. I've probably used it way too much. Now that little seating bench right there that's next to the table is not an actual bench. Your Sims cannot use it. I just like to do that to make it look like the table has a bench, but they're actually just coffee tables or end tables. Why in the world are they end tables? I don't really know, because they look like cushions. That's just me. They just look like cushions, and I don't understand why they'd be end tables. So I tend to use them as little benches. So like benches by the table, or maybe I use them on the end of a bed, at the foot of the bed as a bench or something like that is what I tend to use them as, because I don't know, I don't view them as being a coffee table or an end table. So I just ended up putting a lot of miscellaneous things up on the shelf. I can't remember if there was store content used in this house or not. I can't remember. I used a fruit bowl, but I can't remember if that fruit bowl was is store content, to be honest. I don't think it was, but I could very well be wrong. When you go to download it though, however, if I do use any store content, I will have everything listed. It's that fruit bowl right there on the corner of the counter by the sink. I can't remember. It's the first time I've ever used that fruit bowl, so I have no idea where it comes from. I decided I wanted to go ahead and use interior or like built-in bookshelves and kind of give them like a glass around the side or around them, because really, I mean, we don't have very many arches that are big like that. So yeah, your bookshelf should be able to work just fine. I've done it before. I've just never done it with those bookshelves or with those arches, but I would assume it works the same as any other arch that I've ever used, and it should work just fine. So I technically haven't tested that, but I guess if it doesn't work, you can always just take out the wall and recolor it, and then your bookshelf will be just fine. So I mean, I haven't really, I've used this house now a little bit in the game, but I never gave it a thought to test the bookshelves. Probably because I've done it like that before, just with other arches and they work fine. So I'm just going to assume that they work just fine. And this big coffee table, I like to use it when the room is a good size and it gives you a different shape. So basically you just use the rectangular coffee table and just kind of rotate it around by hitting the arrow keys and making like an octagon shape. So I just think it helps fill in the space. This room is rather large, so I like to use it to help fill in space. So now what I was trying to do here is I was trying to figure out a way to make it look like we had blinds and curtains. And it almost worked, except for you could see the blinds at the top, and I didn't like it, so I used these blinds instead. I think that ended up turning out a lot better. I like the, I don't know, just occasionally I want to use something different. You know what I mean? Just something different. And having blinds behind your curtains is just something different. Now that painting, I believe, is store content. I would have to find out what store item that is, and then like I said, I will link it in the download page for you. That way if you don't have it, you will have the option. If you want to get it, you can. So you know, and then you can just click on it and it'll take you to that link, and the link will take you straight to the store to purchase it. So along with this living room, it has a little bit of a sitting area, and that's kind of what this is over here. I mean, there's lots of bookshelves in this house, so your Sims will have plenty to choose from to read and should not get bored, hopefully. There's a TV and there's bookshelves. It's usually about all I ever put in a house. I very seldom ever remember to put in any chess tables or microscope things or anything like that. I very seldom ever remember. Oh yeah, and this that little couch there, that's store content too. That's just because I love that couch. I use it all the time. I wish they would have had that just in a regular pack, because that would have been nice. Now you'll start to see as I decorate, I am not really going to go into the decorating of the upstairs quite yet, but when I get to it, you'll see how it's really dark. And like I said, I'll try to fix that, but at this time, I don't really know exactly what's causing it. Hopefully I will figure it out, but I really don't know exactly what's causing it for sure. So I decided I wanted to have an exterior door to the garage as well. It just seems suiting for the way the garage is set up. I mean, the back of the house is kind of weird. It's got all these straight walls, and the roofing is just kind of weird. Just the house is just kind of weird, I guess. So, but yeah, there's a lot of shadowing effect, unfortunately, in the house currently. I really like the house, but I really, really would like to get it fixed. I don't like it. I don't like how dark it is in that hallway. The bedrooms are fine. It's just right there in that hallway. It's like being stupid or something. I don't know. The lighting in this game is terrible. It's positively terrible. So I decided in this bedroom I wanted to use furniture that I don't normally use. I don't know if I've ever used this bed, to be honest, and I don't think I've ever used them coffee tables either. So I just wanted to be a little bit different. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. Occasionally I use an armoire, but not too often. So again, it was another piece of furniture that I don't use too awful much. Unfortunately, the mirror in that chair I use all the time, or the dresser, for instance, I use that all the time. But the bed and the end table is there, I do not. So I thought that would be a nice change to the master bedroom design, which does have patio doors to go outside, so you have your own private entrance, I guess you could say, to be able to go into the backyard, or you could just sit in bed and look outside. So that works too. Here's the bathroom. It's just a basic, simple bathroom. I try and get in this house the cost of it to go up, because in my challenge you also have to have so many houses that are in like the medium family price, or whatever you want to call it. And then you have to have so many houses that are more luxurious. So they have to be a certain amount and higher. Well, I guess putting the most expensive toilet in doesn't help much, does it? So that's why I put that toilet in. I was just trying to raise the price. This house still only came in at 117,000. So I had this feeling when I go to build one of those more extravagant, luxurious houses, I myself am probably going to struggle a little bit because I don't normally build that big, and I have a feeling it's going to have to be a little bit bigger than what I have going on here. So, I mean, I don't know how some people can build these houses that are like $1 million because I have never gotten remotely close to that. I think the most I've ever had is 400 and some thousand. I think I got close to 500,000 once, but for me, it is really, really difficult. I mean, those builds took me weeks. There's a few simmers out there. I mean, they can really build some really big houses with a lot of rooms and just really, really big. And they don't seem to take all that long. But me to build a house that big would take me a very, very long time. So, you know, kudos to you guys who can build really big houses because I don't have the attention span to do it. I just can't do it. I very seldom build houses more than 4 bedrooms. Anything bigger than that, you're probably not going to find on my channel. There will be a slight few. I have maybe less than 5 houses total that have more than 4 bedrooms. Just because I just can't seem to keep my attention long enough to build a house that big. I just can't do it. So I won't do it. You can request all you want, but I am not going to build a house that big unless I feel ambitious enough to do it. So it just probably isn't going to happen. But anyway, here is the upstairs, the hallway, the landing, whatever you want to call it. I even tried, you'll see, I'll go into Bite a Bug and I'll grab other like lights, the invisible ones during the day or during game that you can't see when you're in live mode. But like right here, I put it all over the place, moving it around, trying to figure out where, if I could possibly get any light up there, but I can't. So I have no idea. See, I really wanted to have those windows. I have those like moon-shaped windows, and I would like to be able to keep them there because I think it really looks nice. And as long as I have an actual wall, like I had when the way I did it before, it gives me an actual wall, I can have them there and it'll show, you can see through it. But if I let it use the wall that what is it called? Now I'm drawing a blank. Oh, the wall that the roof puts down. You can still put have the window there, but it won't, like, you can't see through it. So I don't like that, and I don't want to do it that way. I don't know, I'm being stubborn. I want the window. It's the only reason why. But I don't even know if that'll fix it. I don't know if taking out that wall would fix it anyway. It has something to do with the roof, so I don't know. Something with the roof. I don't know. It just, I have no idea. I mean, I looked at it a little bit, but, you know, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. So it made me mad, and I said, heck with it. But anyway, this is going to be the nursery area. This is where my Sims little boy is going to stay. Currently, everything in the room seems to be working just fine, except for the swing. I don't know. I may have put too many stuffed animals next to it, so I might, maybe if I'm looking at the house trying to figure out the roof issue, maybe I'll move some of them stair or them stuffed animals a little bit farther away, because I think those 3 that I put there, I think may be in the way, but I don't really know. I don't use those swings very often, but that swing and the changing table there is store content as well. I don't think there's anything else in the bedroom that is. So I don't know. I mean, if you don't have anything that I have, that's fine. The game just replaces it with something else. It usually doesn't make any sense what the game replaces it with, but it will replace it with something else. And you can always just delete that object. I mean, it's not going to break the lot if you don't have it. I don't usually use too much in the way of exterior store content. So like, I mean, even if I were to put, like, for instance, a store content door on the outside or inside, the game will just replace it with another door. So it's not like it's going to replace it with windows and then your Sims can't get in. It'll be, you know, something else that's very similar to it. Now the changing table is probably going to be turned into a bed just because there's no other changing tables that came with any of the packs that it can change it with. Or maybe it'll be a desk. I don't know. But if there is other objects that are similar, like a door or a window, it will just be replaced with another door or window. So usually it's not lot breaking, I guess you could say. I don't really know, but you should be okay if you don't have it. I mean, I've downloaded stuff before from other people and I didn't have the store item and the lot worked just fine. So I mean, it looks a little silly sometimes. You just have to delete some of them objects, but for the most part it works, you know, works just fine. So, and myself, I prefer when I download a house, for instance, I like it to be fully furnished. I know a lot of people like to furnish it themselves based on their Sims, you know, what kind of children are they having and things like that. But me, if I'm in Sims 3, the Sims actually, like, it's an open world. So when I put something down for another Sim to live in, I want to make sure that the Sims can actually live in it. And if there's no bedrooms in it, or if it only has one bedroom, for instance, and no kids' bedrooms or the occasional nursery, then the game does not let the Sims live in it if it doesn't have adequate housing, I guess you can call it. So if you're trying to place a family that has, say, a toddler, or a say your family has, say, 4 children and the house only has adequate beds for 2 Sims and you can't get 2 Sims to sleep, don't have a place for 2 of them to sleep, then the game's not going to let you put it in the Sims in there without having mods. So I myself just like to have the house as completely furnished. That way if you plop it down in your game, you don't have to worry about it. There's beds in all the bedrooms. It's fully furnished. Your Sims should be okay to live in it without any problems. So they should be able to, you know, keep their energy up. They can keep their fun up. They can do all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I'm getting close to the end of the video here. The screenshots are coming up. I just want to do another quick reminder for you not to forget to put your question down below for the 500 subscriber video that is coming up real soon. Like I said, I only have maybe 10 or less by now on subscribers before I reach that, and I will be doing my video. So get that question in really quick so I can answer it, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.